Okay, we're told that in a recent scientific project, Robert printed a supercomputer for 15 minutes, rounded to the nearest minute. Now, what this means is that the time, which is 15 minutes, is not exactly 15 minutes. It's telling you that this number was rounded to the nearest minute. Now, if we want to talk like units, tens, hundreds, it would be similar to say that it was rounded to the nearest unit. Therefore, the actual time t must have been between 15.5 and 14.5. Now, it can be 14.5. That is why it's greater than or equal to. Now, most students write 15.4. Okay, thinking that, well, it must be less than 15.5, because if it's 15.5 it would be 16 when it is rounded, but that's why I'm leaving it open so that it can be 15.4999999, etc. Okay, now the cost, it says the cost is $320, rounded to the nearest $10. This would be similar to saying that it was rounded to the nearest tens. So if I'm going to say that the cost was $320 and I round it to the nearest tens, it means that the units digit must have been +5 or -5. So let's say the cost is between 315 and 325, closed at 315, because it can be 315 but it cannot be 325. It would get up to 324.99999, etc. Now they're asking us for the actual cost per minute. Now this phrase has a structure. It says cost per minute. So I want the cost to be above and the minutes to be below. Okay. Now I want this to be in range. It says must have been between. Now the greatest possible value for this fraction will be when the numerator is its highest and the denominator is its lowest. So I will take 325 for the highest value of the numerator and the lowest number for the denominator, 14.5. Okay, because if we divide by something that is really low, the total fraction is going to be higher. And the minimum value will be, if I take the least value of the cost, which is 315, and the highest value of the time, which is 15.5 minutes. Okay, now I'm not going to write greater than or equal to or equal in this case, because we are dividing something that can take that value by something that cannot take that value. See, well, in this order. Okay, so if it cannot be 325 but it can be 14.5, then I would still conclude that it cannot be exactly this division. Okay. Now if I look at the answer choices, I will find that letter D is the correct one. Okay, now if you were still in doubt around what to put here, 15.5, 14.5, just look at the answer choices. They are littered with 325, 14.5, 14.5, 15.5, so you wouldn't see any 15.4. Therefore you would know that you would have to take 15.5 as the maximum, 14.4 as the minimum also. Okay, so the answer here is letter D.